Hey, I'm Mary with Indulge, and today we are going to light a Weber kettle grill without any lighter fluid. We don't like to use lighter fluid at our house because I don't like to use chemicals in my cooking. And even if you don't think you can taste it, or even if you think it burns off, it's still there lingering, and it can impart both flavor and a little bit of chemicals into your food. And I don't want that. We can avoid that by using a chimney starter. So the tools you're going to need to get started are a charcoal chimney starter. You can get these at any hardware store or on Amazon. They only cost about $12, $13. This is a wonderful investment and something you should definitely have. You're also going to need just a little bit of paper, newspaper, any kind of crinkled up paper will do. You're going to need matches or a lighter, and then you're going to need some charcoal. That's it. That's all you need to get started. So we're going to get started today by looking at the charcoal chimney starter. This has two sides. This has a deep side, and then it also has a shallow side. So the shallow side is what we're going to use to put our paper in. You're going to take your paper, crumble it up, and you're just going to stick it right inside just like that. Then we're going to turn it upside down, put it in your grill, make sure your grate is removed. You're going to make sure your grate is removed, then you're going to put it in your grill, and then we're going to load up the charcoal right directly inside there. You could do this on concrete too, but the safest place to get this started is right there inside your grill. So first I want to talk about some charcoal before we put the charcoal in your chimney starter. There's two types of charcoal that you can use. These little briquettes that you see quite often, you're going to see these the most common. You'll see them everywhere from your grocery store to your hardware store to everywhere. These are totally fine, but they're often pressed together with chemical binders and agents, and I just generally don't prefer those. I really like to use lump charcoal. This is our favorite and our go-to. It's not as easy to find, but when you find it, buy a few bags of it because this is going to be your best bet. Okay, we're going to get started by putting our lump charcoal into our chimney starter. So one thing to take into consideration is to make sure that you don't pack too much paper in there. You just need a little bit. So we're going to light this down at the bottom, and then we're going to wait for that to light, and then it's going to light up the rest of those coals. So now that the paper is lit, the coals are starting to light, and this should take no more than 15 minutes for all the coals to be lit up. By the time they're lit, we can pour it in there and get started on grilling. Now mind you, this takes about the same amount of time it would take for lighter fluid. No chemicals needed. All right, see you in 15 minutes. All right, I'm back. It's been 15 minutes and these coals are nice and hot. So it's time to get them in that grill and get ready to start cooking. So first things first, I'm going to use some really good heat-resistant gloves. Anytime you're dealing with really hot coals, really hot flame, it's good to be prepared. I want to protect these hands. So now we're going to go ahead and get these coals in. We are cooking. We're going to set this up for a 2-zone cooking. So we're going to put all our hot coals on one side so that there's no coals on the other side. So we're going to get started with that. So we are going to dump everything in on just one side. This would be a good time to add any more charcoal if you think you're going to do a longer cook. The coals that we have in here should last about 60 minutes on a really high heat. I'm thinking like 500 degrees. So we're good to go for about an hour, but if you want to add more coals, this is a good time to do it once after you dump those in because the hot coals will light up the cold coals. Or if you have a good grate that opens and closes easy, then you can add coals as needed. This is the kind that will open and close. This is what we use at home and we love it. So now I'm going to put my grate on. Okay, we are now set up for 2-zone cooking. Now what that means is that we're going to start our food over direct heat, the hot side, where the flame is. That's what's going to give you those char marks, those grill marks, all the sexy marks people love on their grilled food. Then we're going to move it over to the indirect side to finish. Well, you want to start on direct, get the char marks, finish over indirect. Otherwise, you could end up burning your food, getting them nice and blackened instead of just nice char marks that you want. So this is how we set up our grill most of the time. Direct, indirect, and now we're ready to grill. So when you're cooking, one way to control the temperature, a lot of times in our recipes you'll see aim to cook at 400 degrees, 500 degrees. So when you're trying to control the temperature, you've got your temperature gauge here, and a way to control it is if your grill is running way too hot, you close these vents. You want to get them closed. No, you don't want to close them all the way because that's going to put the fire out. You just want to close them a little bit. If it's running too low, if you want the temperature higher, open those vents up. That oxygen is going to feed the fire and get it hotter and hotter. That's your first one. Second one you got down here. Okay, so same here. This is fully closed. You want it open it up. It's going to get more heat, more oxygen in there. So all you need to know is you can adjust any temperature using these two temperature gauges. Okay, just remember the number one rule of fire. The more oxygen, the hotter the flame. So when your vents are wide open, you're going to run the hottest temperatures. When your vents are closed, it's going to be cooler, lower temperatures. Got it? Now we're ready to grill anything! Thank you so much for watching. For more backyard tips, tricks, and entertaining tips, check out vindulge.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.